some time. Reminded that I'm not wasting mine. I can see now that I wasn't wrong. Only I can catch myself now. 'Cause I run, I go, they count me, no, nobody knows. 'Cause I run, I go, they count me, no, nobody knows. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the wire. All you do is waste my time. I need something to ease my mind. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the wire. I don't waste a moment. My feet firm on the ground, looking deeper than I could before. Through the open windy seas, my love, what it sees, I know I've been told before. 'Cause I run, I go, they count me, no, nobody knows. 'Cause I run, I go, they count me, no, nobody knows. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the wire. All you do is waste my time. I need something to ease my mind. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the wire. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the wire. All you do is waste my time. I need something to ease my mind. My heart's on the line, my mind's on the wire. You know my heart's on the line, mind's on the
All right, that was your new favourite song, The Why, Wet Denim. You guys all right? And surprise, they're in the studio today. Go ahead, say hello to the Radio Fodder people. Introduce yourselves.
Here you go.
Kia ora, we are wetdenimband.com. My name is Luca. I play guitar and also play the ambience.
Be fun.
I'm Jack. I play the drums. So say that again. No, you go.
Kia ora, I'm Nick. I'm Nick. I sing and I play guitar and Wet Denim.
Hey, I'm Joe, and I
Hey, Joe.
hey, Luca. I play bass in Wet Denim. Yeah.
True.
Excellent.
Oh, we suck.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Very lovely. Welcome to the Radio Fodder studio. And again, I apologise for the massive delay. Yeah, we're not known for our organisational skills here, unfortunately. But now you're here, surrounded by all of our beautiful vinyl. And speaking of, yeah, it's a student pub was about to take them off of us, so we're picket lining next week. But that's neither here nor there right now. Tell us about the new EP.
Yeah, so just been recently announced. It's called On the Line, and it's a collection of the songs we've been kind of writing and performing over the past couple years. Our second body of work. So a couple of these have never been heard before. A few of them have been fan favourite at shows, so we're real stoked to get this out. It's dropping on the 27th of September.
Wonderful. And as opposed to your last body of work, what's changed this time around?
I'd say it's a greater reflection of us as songwriters individually and as a group.
It's definitely the most collaborative body, like most sort of equal contribution from everyone. Like there's lyrics from all of us, there's there's instrumental contributions from all of us, and it's definitely, I'd say production-wise as well. There's Luca and Joe have done a lot of the production for this one, and I think, it just sounds a lot more well representative of who we are at the moment.
Yeah,
And where we're heading.
much more dynamic. We've got pop moments, we've got alternative rock, kind of folk, getting some heavier territory, and then some kind of more electronic kind of moments in the production, and I think it's really well-rounded, really cool project.
And how much of that is a result of the kind of new context that you find yourselves in as a band?
To be honest, not...
It was finished before we came.
not
We actually did the final stage of recording before moving to Melbourne. So it actually... We have been working on new music here, which is, again, a progression from the EP that is coming. But, I would say that it was far more sort of centred around the last year that we sort of had in Wellington. And just doing... We had a couple of our first tours around NZ, and it's definitely more
So was the kind of additional degrees of dynamicism and collaboration something that you consciously went into this new project with, or was it something that kind of happened naturally more so?
I think it was a natural byproduct of just where we were at.
Definitely a natural byproduct. It's someone will come with like a guitar riff or like a poem that hasn't got any music, but it becomes lyrics, or here's a melody, here's a chord progression, and it comes together like that.
It's like the why you came with that guitar lead, and then just played on and just the song.
Yeah, like the why, the song that everyone just heard, like just 1-2 chords essentially, and then that became a riff, and then we all just
jam it out,
and I think we all have individual tastes in rock pop that vary, but we all have a very shared vision that we can meet in the middle, and we make compromises and we find things we agree on naturally, and I think it is a very organic process. It's not always an easy process, but I think that's what makes it special.
Has it always been the case with you four, being able to collaborate so easily?
Yeah, definitely. I guess with the first project, kind of all those songs, were kind of came from like Joe and Nick, who had done some sessions, in the very early days.
It was also early on in the four of us knowing each other, that first project. So I think that has a lot to do with how you create sort of art together, is your relationship and how much you trust each other, and just like how much you're willing to contribute, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we definitely all feel a lot more okay with each other's rejection now, and it's never an attack on someone's sort of creative, their creative personality as a whole.
It's
more
not a
the
personal
idea,
target, like
it's
you
not a
fucking
personal
suck.
target.
It's
It's
none
like
of that.
we just
Yeah.
understand each other now better.
Yeah, harder, and just like understanding our what we tend to write as individuals, and how that is also developing, really helps inform decisions, and knowing what we're into and that kind of thing.
And that development, have you seen yourselves change, like either within the group, or the energy that you bring to the stage, or the way that you go about writing your music? How has that changed over the course of your is it 2021?
2021 was when we first
Perfect. I've
started.
done my research properly then.
Yeah, it was 2021.
So I was handing Dan the phone. I missed
Oh,
the
yeah.
question. Sorry.
No, it definitely has evolved a lot. I guess just in terms of live performance, just getting more and more comfortable on stage. But I think we all did. There's a thing called Smoke Free Rock Quest in New Zealand, which is like a really great high school program where you can get like high school credits for it, like with music performance and that kind of thing. And that's really great because you can do a lot of performances and there's competitions, kind of like a battle of the bands kind of thing. And so doing that really can get a lot of the nerves out the way. And then I think for me, coming to Wet Denim and then performing, it's like kind of reigniting that from high school, and then just getting more and more comfortable with like expressing ourselves. But then I think in terms of how it's evolved as a band is like interacting on stage, and
It again is just about how comfortable we are with each other. you
Yeah,
know?
for
The more
sure.
we trust each other on stage, the more we sort of can just let it go and really just get into it.
yeah, for sure.
When I mentioned that I was trying to get you guys in for an interview, my producer is actually a really big fan. And I'd told you guys this before, but I'd seen you at the Northcote Social Club a little while ago, and we were talking about you guys and how you kind of really take charge of the stage. It's very much like you're caught up in your own world, and there's a wonderful degree of communication between you. So is that something that you've consciously tried to work on, or...
I think again it's a natural thing. Yeah, definitely.
We're just naturally gifted.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's an expression of catharticism, like, you know,
Big word.
because
I don't even know what it means.
like performing, it can look like a performance, and it always is to an extent, but it's like really, you know, primal expression, I suppose, you know, like playing songs, especially songs that we've written and mean a lot to us, and then sharing that with people.
But also, it definitely, thinking about it more is conscious. Like, the more I think about giving myself permission to fully not worry about potentially looking like he's too into it, because you can never.
He cares
there's
too
like
much,
the-
yeah.
he cares too much. Like, when you let yourself sort of detach from that kind of almost like self-awareness, you just let yourself get into it a lot more. And what I'm finding at the moment with the shows
Yeah,
we've been doing recently
for
is
sure.
I can go hard at every show, and there's always a way to get more immersed in the performance. And the more you do it, just the more you get back from it as well. And I think that is replicated to the feeling that the audience gets as well.
Right. Is it not exhausting to give that much every
And
time you're on
it
stage?
sort of is. I'm kind of
It
worried.
genuinely
We've
is.
Yeah.
never really done a big like night after night sort of tour, and I'm kind of worried.
Well-
it's pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
Excellent segue. Tell me about this tour.
Yes, we have a tour, one show in Melbourne and then 6 shows back in Aotearoa for our upcoming EP. Lucas got the dates.
I actually do not have the dates, but I can tell you a bit about the tour. It's going to be really special because we're going to be playing the new EP in full, which again includes a couple completely unheard tracks. We're really going to try and make it like an event, you know, not just playing our songs, but really like a night. So, yeah, September 21st at Northcote Social Club, and then October 10th in Otepoti Dunedin at the Crown, October 11th Otutahi Christchurch at the Dark Room, October 12th Te Tihi Omaru in Timaru at the Sail and Anchor, October 25th Tamaki Makaurau Auckland at the Whammy Bar, November 16th Te Matu a Maui Hawke's Bay or Napier at Paisley Stage, and November 29th Te Whanganui a Tara Wellington at San Fran.
Well, it
Yeah.
seems like you were reading it, you know that.
Just
got a great
amazing
memory.
recall.
Yeah.
Comes with the territory of being a musician, I'd imagine. But yeah, so some nerves leading up to this?
Excitement.
Excitement,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
good.
excited.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to getting back home for a wee bit.
For sure. Yeah.
Just playing to some familiar faces and playing in familiar venues as well. Like it's been a really awesome experience, sort of, and like pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, moving here for the past sort of 5 months. But just really excited to get back as well.
Right, so going back and then potentially falling into kind of a way of being really comfortable in somewhere that you're familiar with, do you think that's going to change anything to do with your performance?
Potentially.
We go hard, won't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. I think, yeah, I guess that the audiences back home tend to be they know us a wee bit more because that's where we're from, obviously. So I tend to find that when there's a bit more of a sizable audience, that I tend to, it's easier to give more. You sort of give and take from each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're always sort of trying to push a wee bit further, and like I don't think that going back home is going to make us too comfortable at all.
Nah, especially with the new
It's all new
songs.
territory
Yeah,
as well.
there's
like-
songs we've never played live
and venues
before.
we've never
yeah.
played back home as well.
So you're bringing your own degrees of kind of personal challenge that you've self-assigned. Do you see
Yeah.
yourself kind of raising the bar for yourself consistently throughout this project?
Yeah, 100%, I reckon. But it's interesting actually because raising the bar can be like a good thing and a bad thing in terms of like a perfectionist mindset, where with any art, I suppose it's never finished, or anything creative, it's never finished, and so you have to choose a point just to be like, this is the final version of this piece.
I get
work.
the feeling that you might be the perfectionist.
No, I think we all are in different ways.
Yeah.
And it can literally be with like an instrument part or like a production or a mix choice, and it part of it stems from having a pop sensibility, and it can be a bit debilitating sometimes. When you have in your mind, is this song going to be maybe too long for commercial radio? Is this part going to be, could this part be like mixed quote unquote cleaner, or do we want that rawness? So it's just a matter of really coming to grips with your own intention and staying steadfast.
I think
with
that's
that.
where like raising the bar can actually be putting limitations on yourself as well. Like, it doesn't have to just be the sort of notion of what raising the bar usually is, like getting better, but sometimes putting like limitations on how you create and how you perform can be quite a good way to do it.
100%.
So with the kind of commercial radio and wanting to keep it clean versus raw and your pop sensibility, do you find that you're at the point where you're kind of figuring out what you want your band identity to be, I suppose? I say that in quotation marks, obviously. Radio is audio medium. I do this thing all the time where I talk with my hands, and you saw it just before. I was trying to gesture for the bar, and it doesn't translate ever. But yeah, so your band identity, is that something that is like coming out of the origins of you guys coming together to perform, or is it?
Yeah. Well, I think, in my opinion, like a great band identity is never set in stone.
Yeah,
Like,
forever change.
all the best bands, all the most successful bands, I think, both like in terms of successful as like selling records, but also successful in having really great albums, they are always changing of like a 10, 20, 30 year career.
Progression.
I think, when this EP comes out, like, people are going to hear that it's different to the first EP.
Yeah.
Like, so we're, in terms of more commercial sounding, but also more alternative sounding. So I think that's a really cool thing about it, is that it kind of is diverging a little bit. So
you're looking forward to getting to change something up and kind of experiment in new.
Yeah.
100%.
We do this live anyway. It kind of happens subconsciously, but pretty much all our songs live are different in some way in terms of intros or bridges or tones or little parts here and there, which I think is really cool. And it shows how, like, back to my point about you have to choose a point just to finish something, where if we then re-recorded those songs from our debut EP now, that would be quite different. And it's kind of a beautiful thing that you can listen to those, and in that point in time, like 2 years ago, that is how these songs were for us. But this is what they're like for us now. And it's cool that we can continue to develop that live and make our live show a real special thing.
And you see that going for as long as you perform live?
100%.
Perfect. That's great. So you are always going to give a slightly different show every night?
100%.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
the changes don't just happen. It happens more when we're just practicing together.
Yeah, an evolution. So hopefully we're still playing these songs in, a decade's time, and they'll be completely different. Or they might, come back like a cycle. And, it's the beauty of it.
That's really kind of cool to, and I would 100% have to agree as somebody who has been fortunate enough to see you guys live, that there's this evolution happening on stage. And I didn't mention this enough when you were talking about your tour just before, but guys, listeners, brilliant live performers, genuinely. Like,
Thank you.
I was sitting up the back of a band room and could still feel kind of the stage presence. I know that's an overused term, but that presence of you guys as a band was very, very powerful. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that evolution over the course of the project, which is very exciting. I completely lost my train of thought. But we'll cut to one of the questions that I asked you guys about while we were all waiting out in the hallway, very professionally like. What is there a particular story or kind of, narrative surrounding the band that you guys would love to talk about, but the right question maybe hasn't been asked? I will say that it can also be really, really like a very silly thing to do. It's not a silly thing to do, like a silly answer. The most serious one I had was a heavy metal band had played in Tanzania just after the Arab Spring. And then another one was how somebody fell into the stage on their first ever gig in a band room. So...
It's a great question, actually.
Sort of question where there is a lot that you just can't think of.
There is a lot, but there's been so many.
My memory is just terrible as well. I'm trying to think back.
You guys tell me Lucas stage dived, but no one caught him.
Never happened.
I'm actually blanking.
Talk about the why, like how we recorded it.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it's more of like a sentimental story, really.
Still say it.
Oh no, definitely. But I just hope the listeners weren't expecting anything funny.
Yeah, we're extremely serious.
I'm so serious. You guys can then just rapid fire some dad jokes afterwards if you'd like.
Yeah, Lucas actually good for that.
It's Father's Day, so...
Oh, yeah, true.
Shit, I need to call my dad.
So with our song The Why, which actually came out on Friday, we went on a little riding trip to Nick's family batch in Riversdale, which is in the way, Wairarapa, and just outside of Wellington. And we just had this real cool jam. It's like a beautiful coastal area, and it was quite a blustering day with the wind and the waves, and it's kind of really influenced the themes of the song in terms of equanimity, kind of staying composed and open to situations even when they can get tough. So being in this small batch, in this kind of southerly weather and writing this song.
It's a
really
cool
awesome.
insight as well into almost like an Easter egg of the project. We've got some there's some images on the cover art, and one of them, which has been sort of repeating in our rollout on our social media, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's a rock. And it's a rock that we found when we were on that trip, and we all have matching tattoos of it now as well.
Sick.
Yeah.
But the pattern on the rock, if you held it up, it matched exactly the peninsula of the coastline. It was real
It was
weird.
cool.
Yeah,
It
we
was
couldn't
really
believe
cool.
it. So that's why we kept it, and we kind of centered the song around that. And yeah.
And the cover art of the song is the batch when it was getting built.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all- it's
Yeah.
all
Who was
Halloween.
it in your?
My great granddad holding my mum and my auntie's hands, and they were children in it.
Mm.
So
That's really
that's
cool.
quite a sentimental part about that song.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Do you find yourselves carrying this kind of reflective philosophy throughout the rest of this EP?
Yeah, definitely, to an extent. I think we like writing songs about kind of that kind of thing, and also we just do, I guess. I think it's important to us, being aware of how you feel and different ways of unpacking that. So definitely, the EP does cover a lot of ground, but it is a recurring theme. Definitely.
Recurring theme, but not like you were heading into the project going, all right, we really want to centre this.
Nah,
Nah,
that
yeah.
never really happens.
I think we're all
Honestly,
just quite introspective people.
But on that,
we
on
think we
think
are.
a bit too much about
Yeah.
ourselves, don't we?
one of the tracks, it's 4 different point of view. On one of the tracks in the EP, it's each of our 4 different point of views on one topic. Sort of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, how we all relate to it.
Say it again.
How we all relate to it.
Beautiful teamwork, guys. Again, for those listening, we have one too few microphones in the studio at the moment.
We've got good passing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just sit
Come up.
closer.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Oh, friendship, beautiful. This is a band with matching tattoos. Again, listeners, if you haven't picked up on the accent context, you've been in Melbourne for 4 months now.
Say your name again.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Nick.
No one understands it.
No one understands it.
Really?
No one understands
well-
it. And also no one understands
Nick.
wet denim as well.
Mm.
I feel like wet denim. and then people understand it, and Nick, I have to go Nick. Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
All the
Is it-
time.
So
we met someone called Nick, and then they didn't know.
Oh,
you were saying
yeah.
Nick. This is a funny story.
Yeah. I think it was one of the bands that we were playing with recently. We were sort of just doing first introductions and stuff, and he was like, "I'm Nick." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm Nick. I'm Nick too." He was like, "What?" And like, it took like probably 4 times of saying that my name is Nick
To
like,
realise they had the same
And they
name.
had the
Your
same
name's
name.
That was good.
So have all Australians been like that for you guys, or are we nice in some way?
Oh, nah, still not.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
It's
Just
not your
it's
a
fault
little
that they
little
say
bit,
it.
hard of hearing with accents
It's
sometimes.
just, yeah. We had trouble buying beds when we first got
Oh
here.
yeah.
No one knew what we were asking for.
It's so bad.
I remember bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd go to the op shop and you guys sell beds here? And they're like, what? What is a bed? It's kind of fun.
So yeah, all the practical challenges of moving to not only another city but another country, has that influenced
Like another English-speaking country that
Yeah.
we still can't get behind.
our closest?
That speaks more
English-
about us as people.
I think it says a lot about people from Melbourne as well.
That's funny.
So being in Melbourne, has that kind of changed the way that you approach performing and promoting and like being in the band, as like on top of the practical you are musicians, you make music aspect, being in a city where you don't really know as many people as
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon it's just like a scale thing, honestly, in terms of just the amount of venues, and also the culture's really cool. Where I feel like people just love going to gigs, and there's definitely bigger lineups here. As in, it's not uncommon to see like 3, 4, 5, like even like upwards of 6 kind of band bills, which is really cool. And people just go and everyone just seems to really love it.
I think in terms of how we approach like the kind of promotional and like booking side of like doing a show here, it is a lot different because back home you've got all your friends from uni and there's always going to be guaranteed a certain amount of people that are going to show up, but here it really is like we've got to do all of our due diligence and more to promote our shows. Like we've been learning how to do big postering runs by ourselves for these past few shows we've been doing, and it's fun. Yeah, it's just a different experience to what it's like back home.
But in saying that about like not having uni mates to come to shows, like all the bands we've been meeting and playing with are just so lovely, and you know you'll
It's
see
a
them in a show
really nice
and they'll just
scene.
like rock up to another show, and it's like people really like just love it. It's
There's,
really cool.
Yeah, really great support after just and you meet someone once that you play with, and
They're like, oh, when you playing next?
Yeah.
which is
it's
cool.
really nice.
so it's like a very community-minded
Yeah,
scene
for
here.
sure.
It is similar to Wellington in that kind of essence.
Just bigger.
Which is surprising because it is so much bigger. We were kind of expecting it to be a wee bit more daunting, but everyone is,
Really, you're shouting out anyone in particular?
Shout out Left at the Avenue.
Yeah.
Definitely,
They're
real.
awesome.
Great lads.
Shout out Goodbye Butterfly. They're also really lovely.
They'll be joining
Yes.
us on our
Yeah,
Northgate Social
yeah.
Club
With
show.
Chloe Booth.
Booth and Goodbye
supporting us
Butterfly.
at Northgate Social Club.
They're one of the first bands we saw when we came here. Goodbye Butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all at the station pretty excited about that gig. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
So there's been chatter among the UniMelb student music population.
Stuck on my
Awesome.
finger.
Joe has
almost
severed his finger by putting his zip
That
That is ridiculous.
Oh my! Okay, so the top of your finger's purple
It's
right
actually
now.
I've been trying the last 5 minutes to get this off.
They had to say something now. Do we need to get this cut
Holy moly,
off?
You're a child.
It's almost there.
What? I'll pull it off.
It's actually going.
I got it.
All right, the finger's been freed. Yay!
Holy, he can breathe again.
That's fine.
He's been
Guys.
suffering in silence for too long.
Workplace health and safety hazard. Actually, that's
funny.
no. Don't you try it now. Can't have that happening again.
Yeah, shout out these bands. Oh, there's a zip tie stuck in my finger. It's going purple.
You very calmly brought that up as well. It's like you really didn't want to interrupt your host. You were like, holy shit, guys, I'm about to lose my finger. You're like, hey, can I draw your attention to something, perhaps? Very respectful.
Whoopsies.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's really good.
If you lost one of your fingers, that would definitely change the sound of the next EP.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that
I've still
one.
got
Yeah.
Far less
3
16th
more.
notes.
4 more. I got 4 more. 4.5.
So really, not that serious then.
No,
We should have
put it
left-
back on. Important one.
Yeah. Should have left you next matching tat, surely.
Just
Just
Zip tie.
the top of the finger.
And then being in Melbourne and performing in these band rooms where you're not really sure what to expect. But obviously you've been at it for 4 months, so you're kind of feeling a little bit more comfortable. In the start, did that kind of change the way that you were thinking about your music, or did you have that kind of confidence in what you'd written the whole time?
Honestly, personally, in terms of my mindset towards performing, it makes me double, like, sort of second guess myself quite a lot. Like, I find it hard quite often to be really, like, self-assured about your music when there isn't that really obvious positive reception. Like, if there's a smaller crowd, you're inherently, well, at least for me personally, I'm second guessing myself a lot more than if there is sort of a larger, more vocal crowd who's really affirming what you're doing and what you're putting out, because it is quite a vulnerable position to be in, to be performing these songs, and when it's when there's not that really instant recognition and affirmation, it makes it more difficult. But also we have been adjusting our live sets as well, sort of back home, where we've got a bit of a following where people know the songs that we're playing and the slower ones. It almost feels like we've earned the right to play our slow songs back home. But here we've sort of tailored our sets to be really, especially when we're just doing supports. Like if we're doing a headline, then we definitely like to do our full kind of show. But when we're doing a short sort of support slot, we've really tailored it to just be high energy the whole time and just not really giving a moment to breathe almost.
Yeah, I think it's almost like an unexpected kind of bonus, is like developing like set curation abilities. It's not something I really ever considered.
We've become more dynamic and
like
not
people who've never heard us
adaptable.
won't sing along. How we're going to give them the best show.
How we're going to convert them, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all about conversion.
Everyone's really stressing about us.
Starting your own cult,
show.
yeah.
About what set
Convert
to
you
do.
to the wet denim cult.
What would the wet denim cult look like? Like, who do you make music for, I suppose, is a more normal way of phrasing that question.
Cliche.
Who would your cult followers be? Yep.
Ourselves.
Yeah, mum and dad.
Nah, like 100% seriously, like I think like making music for yourself, it's like
It's the most important
it's like
thing.
the old thing where it's like, I think it's even more relevant in like day and age of social media in the modern world, some would say.
Fontaine's reference.
Where it's like, are you an artist or are you a content creator? And I think making art for yourself with an awareness of the content surrounding it, I think is the most powerful position to be in, because then you're fulfilling yourself as a creative, but you're also going to make it work as a career, hopefully.
Doesn't really answer the question though, does it?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I think it is just hard to say.
Shot G.
It is
Opening up here.
It is just hard to, off the back of that though, it's hard to say what we would expect our audience to look like, because
Yeah, what was the question?
what the wet denim cult would look like.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, really silly question. Like, well, my personal philosophy about what I do.
That's hilarious. I actually have no idea what the wet denim cult would look like. Anyone who enjoys wet denim.
Probably just wearing jeans.
Just jeans.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered doing double wet denim? So like Canadian tuxedo kind of thing?
Yeah, I probably actually have wore that before.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
And the house party show, you wore denim jacket and denim.
Yeah. Oh, and a denim cowboy hat.
Yeah, we had a few denim
Wow.
hats in rotation.
Oh, the
There's
cat,
one that had
yeah.
cat ears,
Oh, that
a
was
couple cowboy ones.
Yeah.
I actually still got that in my parents' house.
The cat hat.
Yeah.
That's in the
I miss it.
Stuck With You music video.
coming
Oh wait,
back.
we had double denim in that. I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
we have done that.
And was it dry or wet?
It was dry, but we have done a shoot where we're
Shouldn't have admitted it.
fully wet in the bath.
And
And
also
the Evelyn.
The Evelyn. Oh wow.
Love the Ev, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe got soaked by their hose for the promotion for our residency that we did.
Yeah.
there. Took some photos outside the Eve.
Very nice. Are you sick of the wet denim jokes, just generally? Obviously not by me.
Ah,
We've had a
with the-
wonderful time. We're all friends
With the
now.
architecture of our own demise in regards to that. It's our name.
Plato over here.
Socrates. you got to embrace it. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
what I hope is that it is a silly name, but
We got to transcend
our music
transcend the name.
is
We
not
did- we changed our
necessarily
name
silly.
once.
Oh,
yeah.
That is a fun.
We played our
fact.
Yeah.
first
Here's
show
the fun fact.
under the name
20
Sand
minutes.
Dune.
Sand Dune.
Nah,
S-A-N-J-U-N-E.
June.
Oh, Sand Dune. Right, sorry.
But we originally
Yeah.
were Wet Denim,
Yeah, pretty
and then we
NDA.
changed to Sand Dune.
Wait, can we swear on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a shit name. Terrible name.
It is a shit.
Yeah.
It's real shit.
And we changed back to Wet Denim straight away.
It was
Yeah.
one show, yeah. But our first ever show, we were called Sand Dune.
Yeah.
And then immediately just decided
Yeah.
against it
Well,
forever.
it was like a grass is greener kind of situation. We're like, oh, is Wet Denim too like weird, a bit provocative?
We just
and then
Overthought
Sand
it,
Dune's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's just.
Sand Dune
I mean,
with a J.
apologies
Yeah.
if there's any bands called Sand Dune.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you've already pissed off another Wet Denim, so
It just wasn't for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wet
Uh,
Denim Indianapolis.
There is another Wet Denim in Indianapolis, and
We have much love for them.
we have
But-
much love. Different
It's
music.
just not reciprocated.
yeah, no, it's unrequited. Really, they've bluffed you.
We're offering an olive branch here.
Yeah.
So if you're out there,
You'll have your people speak to their people. We'll make this happen. Reconciliation show.
One Wet Denim cult to another.
Yeah.
Right, so Sand Dune's dead and not coming back.
maybe one day.
Maybe
It's
no.
not.
It'll be great trivia for when you guys are like massive and famous. It's like, what did Wet Denim play their first show? Sorry, I just did your accent when I said the band name.
I didn't even pick
That's
up on
awful
that.
of me. I'm
That's
really
funny.
my sincerest apologies.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
excellent.
sounded
I'm
like
just getting
home.
myself in trouble then.
No.
Any other philosophical retrospective reflections?
Kind of used up my bank for the day.
Yeah.
We're real condensed.
You
Normally I
should
like to
hear his
space
chat
it
at
out.
home. He's got, yeah.
Space it out over
Not
like a
this.
16-hour period, but it's just.
It's just on the go. Just really switched on for this. I appreciate it. Bringing your philosophical
Dad
A game.
jokes or something, Luca.
Yeah.
Father's Day.
Usually just consists of dad jokes that are just horrible. You just
Like,
don't
he just
even wanna
makes
hear.
random words up.
Yeah.
Like, just looks at something and then just tries to make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No.
Okay, I got a dad joke. And this actually comes from my own dad, who I haven't inherited my entire sense of humour from. What's brown and sticky?
Oh, that's a
Is it a
shit
stick?
one.
Yeah. I was hoping you wouldn't know that one.
No. Well, we do have that
Chicken
one in
one?
Australia, unfortunately. I've got my dad on my T-shirt at the moment, so
that is
yeah.
awesome.
That is
Yeah.
epic.
Shout
That
out.
is
That is
epic.
awesome.
Shout out, Tim O'Lone.
That's him.
Yeah. So I had another good question and I can't remember. No, yes. Okay, so let's talk more about the tour.
Okay,
You
sweet.
don't have to read off the dates again. Sorry, active recall. The show in Melbourne is towards the end of September.
21st. If you want
21st.
to be exact.
Okay. Scientific, precise. This is good. What can the fans expect? Yeah, well, I would hope.
No, I'm kidding.
They can
Spoken word.
expect at least one song.
Yeah, at
At
least.
least.
At least, yeah.
No,
They
they
expect
can.
to hear the EP in full.
The
Yeah.
EP in full for the first time.
But it won't be out yet. will
It actually will be the first ever time that we play the lead single for the EP,
We can say the name
which
of
is
it.
called Want You Here.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
we've
then-
never
and-
played it live. We haven't even really practiced it yet. We don't even know if we can play it live yet. But
Oh, we
that's a lie.
can.
We have
That's
practiced
such
it.
a lie.
I just blatantly lied to
Blatantly
everyone.
Got to stir up the drama.
Yeah, come
You
on,
guys-
let's have
I
some
think I'm
band beef.
really excited. I think it's sounding really good. We'll just keep rehearsing it, and it's going to be epic. Like half the songs have been like in our live set for some time. But yeah, it's gonna be epic.
And Jack is going to have his bass playing debut.
My bass debut. I'm gonna play bass for one of the songs.
Jack's the drummer.
Yeah.
Exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jack's
Thank
just
you.
some guy off the street.
Yeah.
Somebody's just rocked into the studio
Yeah.
going, hey.
Oh, we
No.
we do.
Oh.
Have,
She thought someone was
we do have Dan in the studio with us today. Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Oh, this is another fun fact.
Hello.
So, my name is Nick Goodwin, and Dan's name is
Dan Goodwin.
Dan Goodwin, and my brother's name is genuinely
Dan Goodwin.
Dan Goodwin.
So you're telling me this is your brother in the studio?
No, this is not my brother.
It's my brother.
This is not my brother. We were in the same year at uni in
2 floors apart in halls.
two floors apart in halls, and we are not related, but he shares the same name as my brother.
Lovely. And how are you today, Dan?
I'm great, thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself as well, just for audio context?
I'm one of the sound engineers for the band back home in New Zealand. I do their monitor mixing and their studio stuff.
And you
Are they good to
Dan
work with?
also- oh, sorry.
Dan's a nut sound engineer.
Yeah, Dan did a lot of engineering on this EP coming up, like a lot of recording. Yeah, so
What are the
couldn't do
the
without him.
goats?
He's amazing. He knows so much. He's got great taste in music, he's a good influence on us. You know.
Thanks, Luca.
So we're selling CDs for that new EP.
Plug.
And,
That's enough on you, Dan. We're selling CDs.
And be quiet. Enough. Back to marketing.
There's
Back in the corner, we're selling
That was a
CDs.
crazy segue.
I wrote Sand Dune on one of them.
The legend lives on.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the new EP, there's beautifully designed EP cover by just some random. Jack did it. But if you pick one of those up, you can read all the credits, and you might recognise a certain Dan Goodwin. May or may not be Nick's brother.
It's definitely not. But also, that is another thing you can expect from the show, is we will have merch at the show.
Yeah.
Is it very cool?
Oh, unbelievably.
Just so cool.
Just ridiculous.
So cool. So cool that you can't describe it right now, or
Pretty much.
Oh,
So
no,
cool, I'm lost for
selling
words.
some of it last night,
We got the
actually.
tour
so
team.
do you want to describe the merch?
Oh yeah, it's a t-shirt and a CD.
T-shirt with a print on it. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Joe's got it on.
this will be really great for the radio,
Yeah,
Joe.
you
We
guys
can,
can
you can see it.
That's the Y merch from last night.
So that's the Y
Yeah.
merch.
And then
Oh,
we've
he's
got
stained it
We've
all.
got
tour
tees.
tees.
Tour tees. And okay, I should do some more marketing real quick. We've launched our website recently.
Do they all come with the
That's
stain?
pretty awkward,
Very
Luca.
awkward.
Luca was just announcing his baby of the website, and no one was listening.
Oh.
No, tell us about the website, please.
Okay, the website's just literally a segue
more
into
marketing.
the
Into more,
merch.
yeah, well, you've got to get professional.
we're-
Got to do it sometime.
We actually haven't officially announced this yet, but we're running like a pre-order promotion on the beautiful tour tees, and you buy them, you get a discount code for the tickets for the tour. So if you like t-shirts, and if you like music,
Then it's a win.
And
if
CDs.
you like websites as well, then you can fulfill everything in one convenient package.
Very nice. You are a very convincing salesman.
At wetdenim.com.
Yeah, wetdenim.com.
With denim.com.
Cool website. It's a cool website for a cool band with some cool merch. Any other adjectives you would use to describe?
Probably cool.
Probably, yeah. Or epic. We've heard that one a lot.
Epic.
Hey, Luke, surely you got a
Epic.
big word somewhere in your brain.
Elite.
Elite's a good one.
Hippopotamus.
Meme. What does that? Anything?
Oh,
to do
big
with
word.
Yeah.
Specify.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
I think
epic.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like cool.
Rambunctious.
Yeah, rambunctious, good one.
Rambunctious. All right, so it's been 45 minutes with a very, very cool,
Holy.
epic
That went really
rambunctious.
quick.
That was
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that was
had a
fun.
wonderful time. Thank you guys so much for
Likewise.
coming
Thanks for
in.
having
Thank
us.
you for having
Yeah,
us.
pleasure. Can't wait to get down on the 21st of
Yep.
September and see you
21st of
guys
September.
with my Wet Denim t-shirt and my Wet Denim EP
Cool.
from the
Nice.
wetdenim.com website.
Nice.
The cool one. The cool one.
Only there, not the Indianapolis one.
Oh no, they're cool.
Your words, not ours.
They're cool too.
All right, I'll crusade against them on your behalf, just because you've got to keep the face.
Keep the Southern Hemisphere strong.
Absolutely, it's your territory. You've got all of the bottom half of South America, and then a lot of the cool islands as
Cool.
well.
Tim is hard.
They do
Tim is
get all
hard.
of Europe though, so you'll have to fight them on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they need the head start.
You catch? Yep, you're coming for them.
Well, I got a DM from them.
Nice.
We know where you live. No, yep. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming into the studio today.
Thank
Anything
you
we've
so
forgotten?
much.
Any final farewells, goodbyes?
Stream the Y.
Stream the
yeah.
Y. Get on it.
Look for a place that we're putting out a flat up for rent. We
Oh yeah, if anyone needs a flat.
We're trying to get rid of that.
Yeah, we need someone to take over our flat. More advertising.
This is not band related. This is
Don't.
life.
All right. Life ads.
Alright, cool.
Looking for a house sitter.
Can't believe we did that. That's funny.
All right. Wet Denim, multi-tattooed, multi-talented, very epic, very cool. Thank you so much for your
Cool.
time today.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
for having
much,
us.
Golda.